Feel the pulse beneath your feet, and breath of reflection, every step a choice. Welcome to your frequency of the soul. So elevate, soak in the air, we resonate. Every heartbeat, synchronized frequency of the soul. Tarot on the table, I watch the cards speak. Shadows and light dance, the message is deep. So work in motion, each step I own. Healing isn't rushed, it's a rhythm I grown. Breath by breath, I release, I receive. Gentle with myself, grounded in what I believe. You feel the energy that it resonate. This is your moment now, gotta breathe. Holistic royalty by Kels. Magic in motion, rhythm in my bones. I breathe with intention, I flow in my zones. Yoga in stillness, I center my mind. Meditation lifts me, clarity I find. Herbs and intention, energy align. Manifesting the future while I free my mind. Frequency rise and we step in our power. Gentle but mighty, this is the hour. Of love, the goddess of love, the goddess of love. I sing your love, each note a caress. Heart open wide, I got relations as best. Healing emotion, soft mist in my sway. Teaching hearts how to speak, how to stay. Joy in my voice, peace in my tone. That is the medicine the seeds we've sown. Gentle waves moving through the space. Lifted by grace, wrapped in embrace. Vended healing realms. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Healing is work. Shadows arise, you must not shirk. Real talk, no fluff. Step in the light. Integration is God, what transformation is might. Move with intention, stay rooted, stand tall. The path is long, but we answer the call. Wisdom in rhythm, proving the sound. Centered in self, feet on the ground. Most peace on everything. Bars for the spirit, flows for the mind. Take a moment, leave the chaos behind.
Last episode, you identified your lane, and I just went ahead and gave you a review in the start of this episode. You saw your numbers. You saw what showed up strongest for you. That part was awareness. This episode is different. Now we're going to be talking about what happens after the knowing hits. This is about rebuilding trust in what you already know. Because if clear knowing is your lane, the real issue isn't that you don't know, it's that you don't always stand on it. That's normal if you keep it real. When something drops into your mind and it's clear, it feels solid, settled, but your mind starts moving and you start thinking about how it sounds, how it sounds. And you're like, people gonna think I'm crazy. And that's not the case, because you start thinking about how other people are gonna respond. Then what are you gonna do with your gift? You start wondering if you should just double check yourself. And then what turns out to be something simple now turns into something complicated. Not because the knowing was wrong, it's because you stepped away from it. You know, things that you don't want to tell your friends. Trust me, you know. Clear knowing isn't just about getting the answers quick. It's about being able to hold your position after the answer comes. Not that all that weeble wobble and we all fall down. No, none of that. None of that. You probably have moments where you knew something immediately and didn't need more time. You didn't need the details. It was just there. And then later, after talking to somebody, after thinking about it too long, after trying to make it make sense to everybody else, you changed your stance, your mind, because your confidence changed it for you. Where is your confidence? It's not a skill problem. It's a self-trust problem. You got to apply a little bit of pressure, and that comes from knowing. And when you're the person who sees things early, you connect the dots fast and you catch pattern without effort, and you can and that makes you stand out. And sometimes standing out don't feel safe. So instead of holding on to your clarity, you try to disappear, fade to black. And then you act unsure so nobody feels uncomfortable. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Because every time you do that, something's going to happen. You teach yourself not to respond to your first signal. And then over time, that becomes automatic. Clear knowing types often confuse the mental instability, that noise that pops up. And you're like, oh man, it's messing with my head. No, you're just not letting the clarity in. Acting like you can't tell the difference. And then you pause long enough. And you're like, nah, this can't be real. Nah. That's because you never know what it feels like to have the difference. If you put your mental clarity on it, you would know if this is regular degular stuff or if there's something with meaning. Because this ain't going to rush you, and it doesn't push you, and it shouldn't make you feel anxious. It just sits there calm and certain, and all that other busyness that's going on in your mind, all it is trying to argue with you, trying to convince you that this ain't it. Slow down so you can tell which one is which. And if you slow down, you start to refine your gift. This isn't about you building the ability, because you already have it. It's about strengthening your relationship with it. About being able to say, I know, and leave it there. No trying to make it sit easy and comfortable. None of that. Because the truth is, the responsibility of knowing is heavier than the act of knowing. Once you know, you can't pretend that you don't. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And sometimes that responsibility, that weight of it makes you hesitate. The work is easy, but it's also serious. You got to learn how to stay with your clarity instead of running from it. And stop trying to dilute it just because somebody else doesn't understand it yet. It's recognizing your internal authority doesn't need a committee vote. Clear knowing, it's simple. And the more simple it is, the more powerful it becomes when you actually honor it. You ain't got to prove that you have it. You don't have to change it. It's about rebuilding your trust in your own mind. And that changes everything. Welcome to Blended Healing. This is for those whose lane is the strongest in clear knowing. But I behoove the rest of y'all to stay. Because it could be down the road, it could be your secondary function or lane. It could be your third, fourth, fifth, or whatever. Even though this series is concentrating on your prominent lane, your number one lane, and number two for that matter. But you're going to learn something here. So what do they call it? They call it clear cognizance. Clear cognizance. It's one of the clairs. Okay? One of the clairs. That's also, if for simpler terms, is clear knowing. So who's running around going cognizance, not cognizant? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I just know. I just know. You got to rebuild that trust. Ashe? All right. I'll be right back. Let me run this for you.
Caught up in your rhythm, babe. Every step you take's a serenade. City lights can't dim your flame. You turn the mundane into a holy place. Got me swaying like I'm hypnotized. Every glance feels like a sunrise. Don't need a reason, don't need a plan. Just let the moment
Let us continue. You don't doubt at first. You doubt after the fact. When the knowing hits you and it's actually very, very clear, there's no debate. It's settled. Like something inside of you just locked into place. But instead of letting that be enough, you start negotiating. And that's your first distortion. You tell yourself, let me think about it. Or maybe I'm overreacting. Or what if I'm wrong? Now you open the door. You try to logic your way around something that didn't arrive through logic. You start building all of these arguments for and against it. Trying to search out and look for some data to support it. Come on, man. Come on. And then you looking for outside confirmation. You replay the conversations and you try to dissect the details that weren't even relevant. And by the time you're done, what you started off as being clear is now tangled up in the web. You call that growth. Yeah. Nope. 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 You think that you're being responsible. You think that you're being mature and being thorough. But sometimes you're just stalling, doing some old self-negotiation, trying to sound balanced. I'm balanced, considering all sides. But you already know the answer. All that extra processing and all of that isn't consideration. It's called avoidance. Clear knowing types do that often. You trust yourself for a split second and then you don't. And then when that second passes, then you start building a case against your own clarity. Why? Because standing on what you know requires accountability. And once you admit you know, you have to move accordingly. Because you can't hide behind confusion anymore. You can't say, I didn't see it. You saw it and you knew it. Negotiating buys you time. It gives you space to delay a decision and gives you the excuse so you can stay in your own little bubble. It gives you permission to stay somewhere else longer than you should. But every time you negotiate with a very clear signal, you send yourself a message, my first instinct isn't enough. And that's the real distortion. It's not that your knowing was wrong, it's that you didn't let it stand on its own. And you felt the need to make it more acceptable, make it more logical, make it more explainable. And in doing that, you muddied the waters. Clear knowing is simple, man. It doesn't come with bullet points. It just comes. And when you keep it simple, it stays the way it's supposed to be. But if you argue with it, then lines are blurred. And that's not growth. That's self-negotiation. Clear knowing is internal. But the distortion shows up when you start looking for a vote. I'm looking for my committee so we can vote on my second distortion because what? Instead of standing on business, you're going to start gathering opinions because you tell yourself that you're being wise, getting a perspective and not rushing through it. But sometimes what you're really doing is handing your authority to a committee. You ask one friend, then another, then you search online, then you replay the situation in your head, and now the original clarity that came through is not competing with other people's experiences and expectation and fears and projections and preferences. And the more voices that you invite in, the less confident you feel. That's not because you're knowing change, it's because you shifted. Instead of being right dead center, you shifted to the left or you shifted to the right. And people like you, the clear knowing type, don't struggle with insight. Y'all struggle with standing alone in it. And when you're early to see something, it can feel isolating. So you look for agreement and for somebody to echo back to you, hello, hello, you're right, I know, I know, I know, I know. But here's the thing. Agreement feels real good, but it's not required for clarity to be true. And when you depend on that external confirmation, what you're doing is weakening your own internal signal. You stop prioritizing it. You teach yourself that your first instinct is not enough until somebody else co-signs it. And over time, it becomes a habit. And you don't even notice that you're doing it anymore. This distortion that you're having is fear of responsibility. Once you admit that, when you say, I know this, man, you have to move different, man. You have to make a decision, set a boundary. You have to walk away. You have to step forward. So asking around just buys you time. It delays your action. And then what it does, it negates the fact that you were the first one who saw it. And that clear knowing is not supposed to be voted on. It's supposed to be recognized by you. And when the clarity is very clear, clarity clear, you hear me? It doesn't need a consensus. It just needs you to own it. And that's where the refinement lives. All right? All right. I know it trips people up because it feels spiritual, but it's definitely psychological. You feel me? All right. Let's take a small break right here, all right? All right.
She just glows, draws you in like midnight gold. A sip of her truth and you'll unfold. Goddess got soul control. Hey, this is grown folks medicine. Don't play unless you're ready to swim. Deep, real deep. A daily dose of tea. She speaks love fluently. Red wine wisdom with a side of clarity. Come through for your blessing. A daily dose of tea. This ain't lust, it's legacy. Touch your heart, shift your frequency. In the love palace where soul ships realign. Let love dock right here. She don't chase, she attracts. She don't beg, she reflects back. So if you're here, you align now.
Tap into a daily dose of D. Monday through Friday, normally 5:30 p.m., but make sure that you hit the notification bell so you're never late. She usually has a very good word, you know what I mean? And then makes you makes you think about things. She delivers it very well. So tap in. Her information is in the chat. Ashe. Let's continue. Why are you mistaking fear for clarity? I know. You done tricked up on yourself, didn't you? Because fear can feel very convincing. Because it's strong, it's urgent, and it's certain, right? And if you're wired for clear knowing, that intensity can fool you. And here's how it usually goes. Something doesn't feel right. Your body gets tight. Your thoughts start racing. And then you feel something saying, I got to do something. I got to do something. I got to do something like right now. And because you're used to quick internal conclusions, you assume that urgency is clarity. But the clarity doesn't panic. Fear does. Poof. Mind blowing. Clear knowing comes up even, doesn't argue with you. It doesn't scream and shout. It doesn't demand that you move all quick, fast, in a hurry. It gives you the conclusion and then it waits. Fear, on the other hand, pushes you to act immediately. It says, do something now, do something now. And then it makes you uncomfortable in your own skin because it's trying to force a decision before you even grounded yourself. You feel me? The difference is the tone. Fear feels tight. Feels tight. Clarity feels settled in. Fear is reactive. Clarity feels resolved. And when you've been operating fast for a long time, you can start confusing intensity with accuracy. And that's where the distortion lives. Sometimes what you called intuition is actually unhealed experience. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Because if you've been hurt before, disappointed, or blindsided, so now your system is always on alert, and that alertness can feel like knowing. But all it is protection. There's nothing wrong with protection. It's necessary, but it's not the same as clarity. Clear knowing isn't trying to guard you. It's trying to guide you. Protection says avoid. Clarity says observe. Protection feels charged. Clarity feels neutral. And if you don't slow down long enough to feel the difference, you're going to move off fear and call it intuition. And that creates confusion. Then later, when the outcome doesn't match your reaction, you start doubting your ability entirely. So you say, maybe I don't know, like I thought I did. But it wasn't your knowing that failed. It was the fear in the driver's seat, making all the left-hand turns instead of going the right way. And that's why refinement of this is necessary. It's necessary because it needs to separate the signal from survival. And once you can tell the difference between calm certainty and emotional charge, your lane sharpens naturally. And that's when clear knowing becomes clean again. Feel me? You got it? You got it? All right. I'm not keeping you long because we about to be up out of here. So here's the thing. Where the real work starts to begin. So now that you saw a little bit of that, right? It's not that you don't know. It's that you negotiate. You put a pole out for the room, and then you let fear wear the mask of certainty. Those are distortions. They're not clear. And none of them mean anything for you. All it does is making your lane weak. They're trying to use your humanness against you, if you think about it. Clear knowing isn't rare. The rare part of it is trusting it without falling off. The first distortion taught you how to talk to yourself out of clarity. The second showed you how to hand your authority to a committee. The third is reminding you that not every strong feeling is clean knowing. Sometimes it's protection trying to run the show. Now the work is simple. Not easy, but simple. When something drops in, pause. Don't negotiate. Don't run to go get a boat. And don't rush through it. Just sit with it. Feel how the tone is. Feel it. If it's steady, if it's neutral, if it's clear and it's calm, then that's your lane. But if you keep honoring that calm signal and something changes, you stop hesitating and you stop performing and you stop pretending that you don't see what you clearly see. Alignment doesn't need applause. It just needs your courage. And that's it and that's all. So you have your second homework assignment. It was in the slide. But I'll tell you, and then I'll play it again so you can see it as a reinforcement for this session today. It's your tone check. When something comes in, ask, did this feel calm or reactive? Was it steady or was it rushed through? Write one sentence about the tone. And that's your assignment for tomorrow. Not today, because today was awareness. Today was you just noticing. Okay? Remember? I hope you do. And if you don't remember, I need y'all to go back and hit the replay. There was a lot of information in the first session. I try to give you a recap of it all, which I did in the beginning. But Red Ball it back. All right? All right. Let me run this for you one more time. And then we're going to get up out of here. All right? All right. And then I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow with day 3, where we're going to cover another clear or Claire. All right? All right. Be well, stay safe. Be a great day, whatever the remaining of it is. Me love you long time.
Caught up in your rhythm, babe. Every step you take's a serenade. City lights can't dim your flame. You turn the mundane into a holy place. Got me swaying like I'm hypnotized. Every glance feels like a sunrise. Don't need a reason, don't need a plan. Just let the A gentle star, body but a war.
It's a secret. Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Every drop, every sin.
We are creating something wonderful. Stay tuned. It's a secret.
Every night, every wave, your spirit rises. Yeah. Stop playing small. Stop hiding. Take the cap off. Let it breathe.
Every great record starts with a story. Before the microphones, before the mix, it's figuring out what you really want to say. If you can name it, you can shape it, and if you can shape it, you can make people...
For me, it's all about collaboration over competition. When we get in this room and listen to the music, it's not about ego, it's about building something together that feels like truth. That's where the magic lives.
I say yeah like a fool, whole line in my chest, but I stayed in the zoo. Trauma had me for the insecurity, train me. Fear kept the key, but the door couldn't cage me. They doubted.
Collaboration over competition is a movement, and Alicia is the musical genius behind it. She creates all the custom music. Check her out on IG, TikTok, and YouTube.
The cap off, take the cap off. Spirit don't move on the schedule. She listen first. And she speaks. Yeah. You never know with her. Yeah. You never know with her. She don't rehearse, she receive. Yeah. One working cut her can free. Yeah. You never know with her. She quiet, the spirit say go. Then she'll start taking control. You never know with her. She don't explain what she knows. She just delivers the message and goes. She don't clock in, she tapped in. Episode change with the breath she breathing. Some days it's comfort, some days it's mirror, some days it's love, some days it's clearer. She don't perform, she channel. Say less, but her presence is mental. Ego get nervous, mask get tight, cause true walk everyone into the light. She'll laugh with you, then pause mid-sentence. Say one thing that hit your chest like a sentence. Didn't plan it, didn't write it down. Spirit said now, so now it's sound. She don't know what's coming either, till it land on her tongue. She a vessel, not a script, that's why everywhere you run. You never know with her. She might soothe you or stir you away. Say the thing you scared to say. You never know with her. She trusts what move through her hands. Not everybody don't understand. You never know with her. She don't predict, she obey. That's why every word feel brave. You never know with her. One episode tears, next one fire. One moment prayer, next one quiet. She let spirit drive the wheel. That's why it always feels so real. She don't promise easy healing, she promise honest release. If you sit or stay too long, you might have to meet your peace. She don't want you as a head, cause spirit don't ask permission. If you play, you already chose to receive the transmission. She not ready.